Congressman, thank you for doing this.
My pleasure.
It has been a very busy day. That's one of your colleagues who's a Republican. She was there at the Epstein thing today, and I don't know if she's going to sign, but you think you're going to have enough votes to get this
She changes her view more often than the wind.
Yeah.
Chooses its direction.
Yeah.
So, don't know.
You don't know?
Don't know, but probably she's likely to stay. Show us the stuff.
Yeah.
Show us the files and all of that.
Do you think that you'll have enough Republican votes? Are you guys almost there?
Well, we're doing a discharge petition right now, and I think we're getting close to 200.
Right.
There's 214 Democrats. We need 218.
Yeah.
That requires half a dozen Republicans. Don't know, can we embarrass them into, Trump has said, show us the files until it comes time to show the files, and then he runs away. Don't know, we'll see.
Why do you think he's doing that?
He knows he's in the files. He knows he hung out with Epstein a lot over the years, and how it's presented in the files, may not know. Maybe he does, maybe Bondi's told him. Don't know. But he doesn't want the risk of not only embarrassment, but what else might be there then.
Yeah, what do you mean, what else might be in there?
Well, we do know that Epstein had brought underage women into the processes. Wait, what? Who is engaged in that? Who are the people that were participating in all that? We don't know. Would the files show that? Maybe. And we'll see who's in it. Perhaps a lot of prominent names. Don't know. That's why we want to see.
Does it matter if it's Republican or Democrat? What if it's Democratic prominent names?
So be it. They shouldn't have been messing around in the first place.
Do you, so far, Congressman Rokon is saying, and Congressman Massey, they're both saying that they've only gotten about 3% of the files that were promised, and most of what they've gotten, it's stuff that's already been out there. So what is this, a bait and switch, or what do you think?
30,000 pages of information that's already known. Is there more? Yes. How much more? I don't know. Certainly the committee, members of the committee, and certainly Roe and Tom Massey are much more aware of it. They've been following it daily. Mm-hmm. Bottom line of this is, Trump, you're going to get what you asked for. He goes in campaigns for 2 or 3 years saying, show the Epstein files, show the Epstein files, and now show the files.
Show the files.
What Trump wanted. So, okay, give him what he wanted.
Now, as you know, you've been doing this a long time. People will say things in private that they won't say in public. Do you speak to your Republican colleagues about this? Are they flummoxed about why he's not releasing, but they won't say it publicly?
Actually, no, I haven't. This issue blew up late July, and Johnson said, get out of town. We don't want to deal with it. Mm-hmm. So slam bang, we go out of town within hours of it really blowing up at the end of July. I have not talked to my colleagues. It's clear that there are an increasing number. 2 in July, Republicans broke ranks, and there are others that are either breaking ranks. We saw it on this vote right now. There was a vote up to censure one of the Democrats, and a couple of Republicans voted to table that censure. So maybe there's a softening in the ranks.
Censure for what?
This was our colleague that was arrested in New Jersey at an ICE facility, arrested for apparently assaulting a police officer. I looked at the films and said, that's an assault. Mm-hmm. That'll be hard to prove in court. Anyway, they were trying to prove it here politically, and Republicans failed. A couple of more Republicans voted to table the censure.
Are they talking to you about the ICE raids, and due process, and any? Because that's really what this is about, right? That you just voted on.
Exactly. I think that the Republicans are in a difficult position. During the campaign, actually before the campaign, Trump was saying, the Epstein files, show us the Epstein files, put them in public. He becomes president. and continues for a few months, and then suddenly he switches. Why? Well, the Attorney General probably told him, I don't think you want these files out there, Mr. President.
And then they directed the FBI to redact his name, reportedly.
There are going to be games played, and so what needs to happen here is show us all of it.
Yeah.
And if there's a redaction, you can do that confidentially with the chairman and the ranking member of the committee, and they can make a determination whether the redaction is appropriate or not. Interesting, last night on public television, which
Let's walk a little bit. Yeah.
last night on public TV, there was a Nixon tapes.
Yeah.
A big thing about, they went back over all of Nixon. And it was Congress who refused to give up the issue and continued to press. Show us what was going on. Show us the tapes. And ultimately, Nixon went down because it was all there. Why is the president so opposed to this? Why are the Republicans lining up? I think maybe a third of the Republicans in the Nixon period voted with Nixon. But the 2/3, those are majority.
Yeah.
And public information, Nixon goes.
Yeah.
Is this a threat to Trump? To be determined by the information.
Why are they so scared of him?
I think there's two reasons. One, politically, Trump clearly dominates the Republican Party. Back home in the districts, either directly or putting up a mega opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So for their own reelection. I think there's also a physical fear,
Really?
really.
How so? Physical fear for what?
For the safety of the individual or their family. There have been plenty of incidences over the last several months of the mega faithful demonstrating outside Republican offices and outside of Republican homes. That makes you think twice.
Yeah.
What's in it for me if I go against the president? Well, I'm going to get a primary opponent, a new word around here, I'm going to be primaried. And demonstrators are going to be outside my home.
Yeah.
The Don Lemon Show is brought to you by the Freedom from Religion Foundation. So let's talk some facts here. Across the U.S., politicians are pushing religion into public schools. Posters of the Ten Commandments, chaplains without clinical training, vouchers that reroute public money to private religious schools, many that exclude LGBTQ students or non-Christians. It is happening right now. But the Freedom from Religion Foundation, they're fighting back and they're winning. I want to tell you about what they did recently. Just recently, a federal court issued a preliminary injunction stopping a Texas law that would have forced public schools to display the Ten Commandments, to display it in every single classroom. That is what defending the First Amendment looks like. That's what it looks like in courts, in Congress, and in classrooms, protecting students from religious coercion and keeping public education truly public. Learn more at ffrf.org/school or text my first name, Don, to 511-511. That's DON to 511-511. Don't let your rights be rewritten. Visit ffrf.org/school or text Don to 511-511. Text fees may apply. Support comes from Lean. Look, we've all seen the fad diets, the juice cleanses, the cabbage soup, raw food crazes. You lose a few pounds and then you gain it right back. Doctors even have a name for it. It's called weight cycling. Half of Americans do it. They lose 10 pounds, they gain back 12, and over time, that roller coaster can lead to diabetes, liver problems, even heart disease. That's why doctors created Lean. It is a non-prescription oral supplement, not an injectable. The science behind it is pretty impressive. It's studied ingredients, and it helps in 3 powerful ways. Lean helps maintain healthy blood sugar, it controls appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting it into energy. So the weight comes off and the weight stays off. Now, if you're ready to break the cycle and lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace, add Lean to your diet and exercise routine. Right now, get up to 20% off at takelean.com when you enter the code LEMON. That's LEMON at takelean.com. FFRF.com. And remember, use that code word. And thanks to all of our sponsors.
Well, let's talk about more what you just voted on. And let's talk about due process and rounding people off the street. I know how Democrats feel about it. Are the Republicans, because it seems like they're saying, if you said that they didn't have the votes, maybe there's some folks who are saying these folks should be able to have due process before they just round them up. Maybe they don't like the way what they're doing.
I think any member of Congress or the Senate that has any knowledge of the history of the 1900s, particularly 1930s and 1940s, would look at America, would look at what ICE is doing, look at the use of the National Guard, and go, uh-oh, this looks a whole lot like Germany in the late 30s and into the 40s, where you have a dictatorial power, Hitler, and you have all of these organizations that are enforcing. The largest police force in America now is ICE. And they're running around in tactical gear. They've got their camo on and they've got their guns, shotguns and automatic weapons up and down the street, and they're hiding their face. Don't want anybody to know who they are. You go, this is not America. And now you add the National Guard to that. Saw it in Los Angeles, and now in Washington, D.C.
And you're going to see it soon in Chicago, he says, and in Baltimore. What do you think of that?
I think we're headed for a police state.
Wow.
I said so over the last couple of weeks. This is a police state. And for Americans, look at history. Look at how Hitler came to power and then used that power to basically keep everybody in line. And if they got out of line, bam, they're gone. That's what's happening right now. They say they're immigrants. Could just as easily be you, me, whomever.
The press is supposed to hold power to account. Do you feel that the traditional press is doing that?
Not enough. Not enough. Certainly the Fox News system that is not. They're simply a megaphone for Trump. Does no wrong, everything he does is right, and they put the story together so that it appears to be public safety or whatever. On the other side of it, no. I don't think that there is a sufficient discussion about where is this going. There's talk about the democracy, but how do you get to a dictatorship? How do you lose your right to vote? How do you lose a democracy? And there are lessons out there, and we need to be aware of that, and the media needs to give us Americans a history lesson. Not just Germany in the 1930s and 40s, but other countries. And so you take a look at China, take a look at any dictatorial regime. How do they hold power? They hold power with police and the control of the media. And we're certainly seeing that in process. The ICE agents on the street, possibly using military inappropriately, illegally, contrary to law, as a law enforcement organization. Oh no, they're not law enforcement, they're just protect. Wait a minute. Trump has put the military into law enforcement. Why are they on the streets of Washington? Crime? Yeah, crime is a problem here. You want to deal with crime? Let's put some money into the police. Let's hire 25% more police and training and so on and so forth. Investigators, district attorneys, and the rest. You don't need to bring the military in unless you've got another plan in mind.
Let's talk about a little politics or a little election. Gerrymandering. You saw what happened in Texas and what's going to happen. They're asking to do around the country. Are you concerned about the midterms in 2026 and elections beyond?
Well, Trump says, get me 5 more votes. Kind of reminds me what he did to the Georgia. I need, what?
11,780 votes.
Your memory is better than mine.
I think it's 780. It's either 780 or 870. I think it's 780.
I think it's 78. But, you know, he went to Texas to the legislature, to the governor, and said, I need 5 new Republican seats here. Why? So that he could hold the House. In California, we go, if that's the game, then we're going to have to play that game. We don't want to, but if that's the way it is, then we're going to do it. And so, yes, we will have a redistricting vote in California, which will be required because of the independent commissions in the Constitution, but we can modify. But we're not going to do it permanently, just for this election and the 2028 election. Then we'll go back to redistricting commission.
Yeah. Finally, I want to ask you, you know, voters are out there saying, Democrats, what are you guys doing? We need your help. You're the only thing that's holding up democracy. Come on, guys. Get in there. Get in the fight. What do you say?
We're in the fight. We're in the fight in basically 4 different places. Back here, you know, we have a vote. We're in committee. We push back, sometimes scream about what's going on in the committee. So that's our work, and on the floor, as you just saw, with a vote going down, the Republicans failed. So that's our turf, but our turf is back home. There were 1,400 meetings, public meetings that Democratic representatives worked on or did during the August recess. I did my share of it. And we do media.
Yeah, new media. So we appreciate you doing the digital. Yeah,
so we do new media, and so that's where our voice is. And we were out there looking at the upcoming election.
Yeah.
Obviously, the redistricting is on everybody's mind, but we're also looking for the candidates to run against the Republicans. And I think the wind will be at our back. Generally, a party out of power has a good midterm election result. And so, you know, history would say it'll be good for Democrats, assuming we can get 5 votes out of California, 5 members out of California. But Trump is way down in the polls, and he's doing things that make Americans uneasy. They may like some of it. We're going to stop crime in Washington, D.C. We're going to deploy the National Guard. Yeah, got to be tough on crime. Yeah, we all are. And so, but there's an uneasiness. Where is this going? And Trump's inconsistency, his lying, and the way he's handling himself and the public, it may very well be a wave election. Historically, that has happened. We were in power in 2010. 12 election comes up, we lose 60 seats. That's a midterm, Obama. And so we'll see.
We'll see.
My favorite stage show, Annie.
Yeah.
And the song.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
You got it.
Sun will come
You're
up tomorrow.
positive.
Thank you, Congressman. I really appreciate you taking the time. Thanks so much.
Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. So make sure you hit the like button and you subscribe to our channel to make sure that you never ever miss a video. We're live every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We drop even more content at 2 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Eastern. And if you want more Don Lemon Show content, we'd love for you to become a member of the Lemon community, where you will receive access to special community posts. You'll get exclusive content and members-only live shows. So head over to our channel page or click the join button on this video. Again, thank you for watching. We appreciate your love and your support, and we will see you next time.